Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Lola. Here on my channel, I talk about mental health and life in general. I got diagnosed with OCD 3 years ago. However, I have suffered from it for 10 years, not knowing what exactly is wrong with me. That's one of the reasons why I created this channel. As usual, please note that I'm not qualified to provide you with any advice and I'm only sharing my own experience on this channel. Today's topic is how to support your loved one with OCD. Before watching this video, I highly recommend watching video of things not to do when your loved one has OCD, just to avoid any common mistakes. First of all, I want to warn you that when somebody's having an OCD attack, you don't want to tell them directly, hey, I think you're having an OCD attack. Because for them, it feels very real and they might even get offended because they are not really connected to reality at this point. Instead, you can state the facts, saying things like, hey, I've noticed you thinking this thought over and over, and you've asked me about this multiple times. Do you think it could be an OCD spike? So now once you know the basic rule, let's dive into this. Number one, acknowledge your loved one is suffering. It can seem to you that the thought that your loved one is obsessing over is silly, doesn't have any meaning or unimportant. Even though you feel that way, and it can definitely be valid, your loved one doesn't see it that way when they're having an OCD attack. As I mentioned earlier, they're stuck in their loop and they are not really connected to reality of things. To acknowledge this, you can say, hey, I see you thinking a lot about this. It must be very hard to think about this over and over and over without any result or solution to this thought. I'm not sure, but do you think your OCD might be acting up? OCD is sometimes called a doubting disorder because it makes people think something is very real when it's not. OCD creates fake reality for your loved one, making them doubt their actions, their thoughts, their feelings, themselves. And by asking your close person and using OCD's weapon against itself, essentially, asking your close person if they think it might be OCD, you're doubting the fake reality that OCD has created for them. Number two, gently point out the uselessness of rumination. First of all, let's address the definition of rumination. So rumination is an obsessive thinking about an idea, situation, or choice, especially when it interferes with normal mental functioning. Even though you cannot rationalize with people who are in the middle of a OCD attack, you can still try to gently appeal to their rational part. To do this, you can say something along the lines of, I see it's very important for you and you have thought about it a lot. You really want to make 100% right decision on this, but it doesn't seem like all this thinking is helping you much. Have you eaten, drank water, slept, rested, did any exercise, got some sun outside, meditated, journaled? That leads us to number three. Encourage them to use their self-soothing techniques. As mentioned in the previous phrase, it's very important to remind people that are having an OCD attack about basics like sleeping, drinking water, and eating. In my previous videos, I mentioned that I totally forget about doing all those things, and sometimes I have to remind myself consciously when I'm in the middle of OCD attack. But apart from basics, you can also remind them to use their self-soothing techniques. Ideally, the person with OCD will have them on hand, because thinking about what kind of self-soothing techniques you want to apply when you already know OCD spiral is a bit too late. I can make another video on how to put that list together if you're interested. The self-soothing techniques list can include anything from listening to a calming or intense playlist, going for a run, going for a walk, doing any physical activity, taking a bath, singing, drawing, meditating, journaling, basically anything that helps calming your anxiety. Of course, drinking, taking drugs, and any other self-harming and risky behaviors shouldn't be on that list. So when your close person is feeling overwhelmed with OCD, you can ask them, hey, do you think something from your self-soothing techniques list can help? Maybe we should take a break and engage in something else and get back to this thought later. Number four, assess the need for space or getting involved. Some OCD sufferers tend to isolate when they feel overwhelmed with OCD thought. I personally do that since when I'm in my head, I tend to dissociate and I don't feel connected to the world around me or people around me. I can't focus on conversations, and I usually can't emphasize with people that I'm having conversations with, because the only thing that matters to me at that point are thoughts in my head. I'm literally obsessed with them. Knowing that, I tend to remove myself from social situations because I feel guilty and bad being present physically and absolutely absent mentally. And I don't think that's the best way of going about things, but it happens to me sometimes. I think that removing yourself from social interactions just to get some headspace is a totally different story. For example, now that I feel more aware of my OCD, I can actually predict when I will start to dissociate, and I can purposely remove myself from social situations just to get some alone time and relax a bit. The difference is when I'm doing that, it's not because I feel like a bad person and that I shouldn't be around others, but because I understand that only I can help myself, and I'm doing it on purpose to make sure that I have enough energy to battle with whatever I'm going through. I also communicate that with my family and friends, and I'd say, hey, I am dissociated right now. I'm not here anymore. My brain is on fire and I'm going through an OCD attack. So I'll have to be on my own for some time, but I'll definitely be back and we can reconnect then. But people are different, so it's important to understand how your loved one prefers to deal with the OCD attack. Does it help them if you're staying with them and not getting engaged in circular conversations and providing reassurance? They want to be left alone? Are they okay with getting distracted and doing something else together? If your loved one prefers you to be there, you can definitely pick an activity from their self-soothing list and do it together. Go for a walk, dance, draw, whatever works. Alternatively, you can both do something else. You could read books in the park, or they could just listen to that calming or intense playlist that I mentioned, and you could just sit next to them or do something else on your laptop. Or maybe they need space and you can give that to them. I think it's all communication. Don't assume that somebody needs your presence or needs you to give them space without asking them first. So the best time to discuss it is when they feel better and they're not having an OCD attack. You can start by saying, hey, I really care about you, and it really hurt me seeing you suffer like that from your previous OCD attack. I'm not sure how to help you when you get like this. So could you tell me, what would you prefer? Would you like to stay together when that happens? Do you want to do something together? Do you want to just be together and do something separately? Or would you like to be left alone? I would like to support you the best I can next time. Number 5, detach with kindness. I know that you love your close person with OCD, and the fact that you're watching videos such as this one, other channels, searching for information, learning more about the disorder means a lot and shows that you really love them. However, you can only support a person when they're going through an OCD attack. The most heavy lifting is actually done by the person with OCD and their therapist. So don't overly attach to the OCD and make it the main character in your relationships. You have to remember to take care of yourself and use your own self-soothing techniques if you need to, as well as keep your hobbies and social life going. And if at any point of time you feel tired or angry, you should definitely address it in a gentle way and make sure that you're getting enough rest. I hope you found this video helpful. If you want me to cover any topic in the future, please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. I also started an Instagram. By the way, that's also something that my OCD is sometimes really torturing me with. And I had created and had deleted many accounts on Instagram before, out of fear, out of obsessive thoughts. And if you are a person like me who does that, comment as well. We can laugh about this together. So I'm not sure how long this Instagram account will last, but I do hope that it will. So if you'd like to subscribe to my Instagram as well, I will leave it on on the channel. So yeah, let's see. So thank you very much for joining me today. Have a great day and take care. See you soon.